What's up, you guys? What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Life After Lockup Season 3. I believe this is episode 32. And the episode is titled 30-Day Fiance, you guys. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this episode review, shall we? All right, you guys. So, oh, God. I forgot that they were the first couple that I took notes on. Let's go ahead and talk about them. You know, I really, like I say every week, just looking at John's face, it's just something about him. He looks dingy. He looks dingy, dirty, and dusty. Shout out to Mariah for that one. But he just looks like that. So he and Christiana, they're in the car and they smoking on them vape pens and he's choking. It's like, maybe I should stop smoking. You think? You think? So we find out that John has 8 children. 8 children. God, I would love to see what the women look like that slept with that. I wonder if he has kids with the wife, the two wives. Well, I'm pretty sure he. Oh, that is. Oh, that's interesting, huh? So you had a wife, and you slept with her cousin. So what do the kids call each other? Because they're cousins / brother and sister. Never mind. Just gonna shut up with that one. But yeah, 3 of the kids live with him. So Christiana gets to the house and, she meets the kids. Now the oldest daughter, she lets us know that, she really didn't know too much about Christiana. I'm like, I can see it. I'm like, he just looks shifty as hell to me. It's just something about John that I can't put my finger on. Now, we do find out something new about Christiana. We find out that Christiana lost her son to the system 19 years ago. And that's like, I think she said he was 21 months old or something like that. That's really sad. Damn. That is sad. Just hearing that. TV. What I want y'all to stop doing, however, is I don't need y'all to show me anybody after they've had sex the morning after. More specifically, John. I didn't want to see him in his boxers, no shirt on. That was just nasty to me. Oh, just repulsive as all hell. So, John leaves. So then Christiana and her mom, they go out for lunch. So they have a conversation. And Christiana's mom, Tammy, that voice is so deep. It's just like really deep. It's about as deep as, nope, it's actually deeper than my voice. So they're talking about John and, Tammy is like, something's not right with John. I'm like, that we agree on. There is something definitely not right with John. And she just wonders, where does John get his money from? Because John has multiple cars. He bought the boat. And then when Tara was there, he also did some stuff for Tara. So where's he getting his money from? So Christiana says that John told her that, he's working some extra shifts. I mean, now see, even in the workforce, I know most jobs do not want to pay overtime. Excuse me, y'all. Most jobs don't want to pay overtime, so I'm confused. What does he do? Because the jobs that I've been on, none of them, because overtime, they don't like that. Because that's more money that they're shelling out to you. They want to minimize that as much as they can. So I don't know where he works, but yeah, whatever. So then, her mom is also telling her about Tara and John and how things, just weren't on, things were just kind of odd between them. So Christiana asked her, well, did they have sex? She was like, I don't know that for a fact. She said, I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall. I would not have been. Not when it comes to John. And then your meth-faced daughter, no. So Christiana tells us that, Tara might be getting payback for her because Christiana slept with Tara's baby daddy. I'm like, well, damn. The plot just thickened. Woo, Jesus. The offense Let's move on. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue with the couples who annoy the fuck out of me. Sarah and Michael. So when we saw the scene with Michael, I'm like, wait a minute. Michael is packing his bags. So I said to myself, Michael is leaving. So, Sarah is giddy and happy because at this point, Michael has been there with her and the girls for 3 weeks. But like I said, Michael is in his room packing his stuff. So Sarah goes in there and talks to Michael. And, she says, "You're leaving?" He says, "Yes, he's getting ready to go to see his mom." And then she questions him about that. I'm like, Sarah, when it comes to Sarah, I don't really know what to say because she does it to herself. You wouldn't open yourself up to this man. You allow him to hurt you. You allow him to do the things that he does with no consequence, no repercussions, no nothing. Now, the question you should have had from Michael is, so he says he's going to Flint to see his mom, right? Actually, there are two questions you should have asked. The first question should have been, how in the hell where did you get the money to go to Flint to see your mom? That's number one. And then number two, technically, we're a family. You're my husband. These are your daughters. If you're going to see your mom, why are you not taking me, your wife, and your two daughters to see their grandmother? That's the next question. Instead of asking him, is he going to see another female? Sarah, that's the last thing that you need to worry. That really is one of the last things that you need to worry about is him going to see another woman. You should wonder, why is he not taking you and your kids? I don't know if you guys can hear that plane that just this flying over my head, but if you can, my apologies. But I mean, that should be the question that you ask Michael instead of worrying about another woman. And the woman that you should be worried about is old ass Maria. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. So in my notes it says Sarah's a complete fool behind Michael, which she is. So her friend Emmy comes over, the one that I think wants to be with Sarah. So Emmy is talking to her about Michael. So Emmy asks the $1 million question: are you and Michael having sex? Long story short, yes, Sarah and Michael are having sex. Sarah is just not going to be pleased until she has another baby. I just feel like that's what it is with Sarah. She's not going to be pleased until she has another baby by Michael. She said that they use condoms, but how often do you guys use a condom? I'm pretty sure at a certain point, Michael's like, okay, Sarah, can we pull the condom off? Like, I'll pull out when it's time to nut. I'll pull out. Like, that's not, because that's what Michael gives me. So then, Sarah believes that Michael might be with old ass Maria. You think? So Emmy is talking to Sarah about her relationship with Malcolm. Did she end things too soon? When it comes down to Malcolm, I really don't even feel that Sarah was invested in Malcolm. I think that with Sarah was using Michael as, not Michael. Well, like I said, Sarah was using Malcolm to get back at Michael. That's all that was, oh, look at me. I have a new boyfriend now. So, you've been with Megan, you've been with old ass Maria. Now look at me. It's my turn to, try to make you jealous by getting with Malcolm. So she calls Malcolm and she tells Malcolm that, she wants to meet up with him and talk. And he's like, okay, that's cool. Like, you got some explaining to do. And then when she hung up the phone, she said, he said, I got some explaining to do. You do, Sarah. You have a lot of explaining to do. Like, you played that man. You played him. Like, what do you think? Sarah gets on my nerves. But let's move on. All right, you guys. Next, let's talk about Lacey, Shane, and John. So there wasn't really a lot of Lacey and Shane in this episode. It was mostly John. John. You are a stalker. In every sense of the word, a stalker. You need help, buddy. You know what? I'm realizing it now. I mean, I think I've already known it. One, John has an addictive personality. If it's not drugs, he can have an addiction to other things. And at this current point, his addiction is Lacey. Now, the thing that I tweeted was, has Lacey's lips gotten bigger with being pregnant? Because I was looking at her lips in that scene with Shane when he brought her the flowers. Her lips. Her lips. Actually, if you guys look at the picture behind me, it's somewhere behind me. I think I might be covering her up. If you look at this picture of her, her lips are a little bit bigger in that picture. I'm moving because I don't know how the picture is, but take a look at the picture. If you guys, I think she's in the middle. I think she's in the middle. But yeah, her lips bigger. So John is writing a Dear John letter to Lacey. John, dude, it ain't that deep. It's really time for you to move on with your life. Lacey has moved on with hers for now. And the issue that I have with John is, like I said, he's addicted to Lacey. But the big issue with John is the fact that this woman has done, done you wrong. You guys were engaged when she got with Shane. When you got out of jail, she broke things off with you for Shane. At that point, that should have been, for you to say, hey, I don't want to be with you. You did this to me that was hurtful. Why do I want to be with you? Especially when she came back to you. You should have dead the situation right then and there and told her, no, I don't want no parts of this. Like, you played me. Like, you played me for a fool. We were engaged. Yes, I was in jail. But then you start talking to this other guy. And when he got out of jail, you were with him. And you stayed with him. And you got married to him. So you made your decision. Now, I don't think Lacey's the type that, is going to be monogamous in her marriage. I just don't see it. And I could be wrong. She just doesn't give me that vibe. So John goes and drops off the Dear John letter. I don't know why. Whatever. So then he meets up with his friend. I forget what his friend's name is. And, he tells the friend that Lacey is the one that called the cops on him and set him up. John, I'm going to need you to take some accountability for yourself. That woman did not set you up. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah, she didn't set you up. You were drunk and you had drugs on you. So they took you back to jail. Damn, that itch. It's not the wrong, you guys. I don't know what's going on. But and then I want him to stop blaming Shane, calling Shane trash. Shane knew nothing about you. So don't blame Shane for Lacey's doing. That has nothing to do with him. But let's move on. All right, you guys, let's talk about Puppy and Amber real quick. This is a sad situation to see. I really do feel bad for Puppy in this situation. I think Puppy is really invested in that con artist, Amber. And ultimately, I think Puppy is going to get hurt for fooling with Amber. Amber is all about Amber. That's really what it is. Amber only cares about Amber. So we see Amber with her mom, and they're waiting for Puppy, but Puppy is late at this point. So Amber steps out into the hallway, and when she steps out into the hallway, she gets a phone call from Sammy. So Sammy tells Amber that he's getting ready to get out of jail, and I'm like, oh, the charade is up, Amber. Like, you got to figure out what you're going to do, because you're living with Puppy, and she says that Puppy does know about Sammy, but Puppy doesn't know the full extent to, her communicating with Sammy and having feelings for Sammy once again. That's going to hurt Puppy. And like I said, I really want the best for Puppy. I actually like Puppy a lot more than I like Amber. I like Amber even less. Like Amber and Vincent, those two actually belong together because they're the same person. So, what was I talking about? Puppy and Amber. And how I didn't like Amber. Yes. Um, the thing with Amber is, when I was looking, I'm like, oh, Amber's gonna have to come up with a clever way to. Oh, what is she gonna do? Because she's paroled to Puppy's mom's house. What is she gonna do? What is Amber gonna do? That is a great question. Amber is in between a rock and a hard place at this point. She's between a rock and a hard place, like no other way to say it. So she is stuck because she has Sammy, who's getting out, and then she has Puppy. And again, like I said, I don't think Amber wants either one of them. I think it's just a good game of con when it comes to Amber. Um, so then Puppy finally shows up, and I was feeling the same way that Amber was. Was she drunk? Has she been drinking? I just really pray for Puppy. I really do. I hope the girl stays on the. I really hope she's stays on the straight and narrow and don't end up back in jail. Like I said, I actually really 100% do like Puppy. Like I like Puppy, and I just want the best for her. But let's move on, you guys. Oh my God, you guys. So I saved I guess you would say the best for last. Chevelle, Quaylin. So we all know that these two are engaged, right? Chevelle is an idiot. Chevelle is a complete moron. Now, when Quaylin got out of jail, she was on this whole tip of him being proposing to her and then them getting married. So he has proposed to her at this point, and they're engaged. I mean, and there's Chevelle is in an alternate reality. She's not realistic. Like there's nothing. It's just like her elevator doesn't ding to me. That's just the vibe that I get. So, like I said, Quaylin, and Chevelle are engaged. So they're back at the crib and they're talking about this engagement. So Chevelle, it's almost like she wants this seems like a shotgun wedding to me. Because she wants to now get married in 30 days. I'm like, what? So you want to get married in a month? That's not realistic, my love. Like, that is so not realistic. First of all, this man doesn't have a job, the first. Not that I know of. And then, two, he's on drugs. Like, that's number two. He's on drugs. Look at his features. His face looks sunken. I want him to get rid of them ugly ass gold fronts. Realistic. She doesn't live in reality. Like I said, she lives in an alternate reality. Like, I just don't understand her. 30 days to marry this man? Girl, make it make sense. Number one, with what money? So you got to rush to get a marriage license. You got to rush to get a venue. You got to rush to get a dress. And with your terrible shape, never mind. Let's just keep it to myself. You got to get a dress. If you're going to have bridesmaids, that you got to get them fitted for dresses. If you're going to have groomsmen, you got to get the tux. You got to figure out the color. You got to figure out, the guest list. You have to figure out, the menu. It's so much shit to this. And like I said, unless you're having a backyard wedding, something like that, I don't know. I don't know what Chevelle is literally thinking. I don't know what she's thinking. I mean, the only thing that I can think of with them getting married in 30 days is them going to the courthouse. And that can be done like yesterday. But again, you still have to get your marriage license. Yeah, Chevelle just doesn't live in reality. So then Quaylin calls his mom. And, they tell her that, he's engaged. And she asked him, did she, manipulate you into proposing to her? Now, see, Chevelle, you was wrong as hell. That man is having a conversation with his mom. Now, granted, you were in the room, and she actually didn't give a shit that you was in the room. She said what she said, and you heard it. But Chevelle was being so rude to his mama. Like, I'm like, you realize you're being rude to this lady. This lady is speaking some facts to you guys. You don't want to hear it because you got just your head so far up in the clouds that you don't want to hear any reason from anybody. And I'm just like, gosh, she gets on my nerves. Her moon pie face. You know what? I'm always looking at her skin, and it looks like she has eczema. If you guys look at her skin, it looks blotchy. It looks like she has eczema. And then them gums, her gums, they are discolored. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? The way she was talking to Quaylin's mom, he dumb as hell. Like, he's trying to tell both of them stop. But I'm gonna say, but if you are my fiance, we finna be engaged to be married. First of all, what you're not finna do is you're not about to disrespect my mom like that. You're not finna disrespect her. You might not agree with what she's saying, but be respectful at the same time. I don't know why. I don't know how anybody can marry someone that disrespects their parents. Now I know when you get married, you leave and you cleave, and that's what she was trying to say to the woman. But the woman, she's not saying for him not to marry you. She's saying for him to think about this shit. It's too soon. It is too soon. So then later in the episode, we see Chevelle's mama come over, and God, I want her to retire. I want her to retire that ugly ass lipstick. So they reveal to her mama that she's engaged. They're engaged and getting married in 30 days, and her mama had the same reaction. I'm like, listen to reason. If people are telling you something, they're not telling you that. Like you getting the same reaction from his mama and your mama. Obviously, they're trying to tell you both something. You're not ready to get married. But Chevelle is a grown, you know what, they grown, let them do what they gonna do, and that's gonna be it. But you guys, that's a review. Be sure to like this video. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else, and share this video. And into the next one, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, to wear your mask, and to socially distance. And also, you guys, get down in that description bar and go check out the Planner channel. And I will see you guys in the next one, which is Bell Collective. Bye, guys.